Yo ho ho, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Don Mafia Live, bringing you the late breaking NFL news, accompanied by some of the finest amateur analysis in the game. Your host, Dan Mitchell. What is going on, everybody? I see a lot of very eager Bills fans coming on in here for the 53-man roster projection. Now, I'm sure you've seen several of these on Twitter. You have seen several of these on your Google searches, if you will. So, since right now is the worst possible season for football news ever, for the next couple of episodes, I would say throughout the week, we're going to be going through a lot of these because I'm saying every single media outlet on the face of the planet has been dropping these situations. Several of them have been very similar. Some of them have some pretty outlandish claims. But today we are bringing our first one up, and this one is actually coming from Bills Wire. This was released on the 21st. We're going to go through it together, and then we're going to sort of give our feedback. Does that make sense? Do we see any outlandish takes? Are they saying that somebody's going to be cut? Somebody is going to be released? We're going to end up keeping an absurd amount on offensive linemen, and we're going to be very slim in the running back position. Who knows? There is a lot of different possibilities now that we're sitting here in a world of overall speculation. So definitely excited to go through that with each and every single one of you. As always, Don Mafia Live is brought to you by Prize Picks. Hands down, the number one player prop betting platform on the market today. And let me tell you what, if you want to think about easy money and if you know what you're talking about, and let me tell you what, several people that leave comments on this show or the live stream, I consider you all to be very intelligent. Some of you think you're intelligent. Some of you are. Okay, I'm going to leave that up to you to decide. All right, but put your money where your mouth is. Prize Picks is where it's at. Right now, they have a bunch of NFL futures that you can put a parlay together. Whether or not that you believe Josh Allen's going to throw over or under 4,300 yards, you think Bryce Young is going to throw over 3,000 yards or something along those lines. Prize Picks is the way to do it. There's plenty of Major League Baseball bets on top of that as well. Say that you're feeling froggy. Best part about it is use code Don Mafia. One word, Don Mafia, DONMAFIA. Use that link right in my live chat. Hit that, and then you sign up and put in that code, and they are going to match 100% of your initial deposit right now. Okay, so $20, they're going to match your $20. $100, they're going to match your $100 free money. And if you know what you're doing, you can turn that into easy money, baby. And it also directly supports your boy. So definitely check out Prize Picks, one of my favorite platforms on the market today. But I have been talking a lot about how to support this channel, how to support this show. Hands down, the best way to do it, which I know each and every single one of you know, simply smash that like button, okay? It's free, takes less than a second, and it also helps me become friends with the YouTube algorithm. It introduces my content to some football depraved eyeballs as we patiently await the football season to start. I believe I read something like it's like 48 days away from week 1, Buffalo Bills, New York Jets. I'm thrilled. I'm very thrilled. But now we have to get through it. And what not better than going through this damn 53-man roster projection from Bills Wire. But first, I got to say hi to my people. My people that are coming in and always supporting me on a morning basis. I was about to say morningly basis. I'm sitting here just creating vocabulary words. This topic should have some good feedback with it today. I agree with you. And so I definitely agree with you. I'm not going to lie to you. This is completely blind because I wanted you guys to see my raw reaction of what this media outlet is projecting, what they're predicting. So we are all seeing this for the first time. Maybe you have seen this before. Like I said, there's at least 30 of these bad boys on Google and on Twitter right now. Top of the morning, my guy. This should be interesting. Thomas Staples, 110%. And so I think there will only be one or two tough calls. Me too, man. I think it's going to be between the defensive line, and then I'm trying to think of like what else would be like a very difficult position group to guess. Linebacker might be somewhat difficult just because we have no idea what they're going to do with middle linebacker. Does McDermott still trust AJ Klein to take that helm, or does he trust Terrell Dodson? And then also defensive line. So those are going to be the couple of things that I am looking for. Yo, as always, go Bills. Absolutely. You have to say that. Good morning, lads. Love that. Jordan Smith, lots of tough calls. How many offensive linemen? 4 or 5 defensive tackles. How many defensive ends, linebackers, corners? How many safeties? Most of the interesting debates are on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, for the most part, I think that our offense is pretty much set in stone. Will AJ get cut or traded? I want AJ back at Vanessa. See, the thing is that I think that it's going to be a Boogie Basham situation where he's going to be the casualty. Whether or not that he's released or traded, I'm not entirely sure. But I 1,000% agree with you. I think AJ had a great season last year, and I think that he would truly be a contributor on this defensive line. 110%. Mark Cardinelli. What's up, Mafia? Break it down, Dan. Go Bills. I love that. Leah's coming in, as always. I love that. Dan, my alter ego, is coming in. Dan DeMan, absolutely. 74 days until Jets 9/11. Oh, damn, dude. Where the hell did I get 48? It must be 48 from something. It's definitely not training camp. Maybe it's preseason. Who even knows? I'm not sure, but I think Josh Allen will barely be the 53rd person. Oh, my God. I love that. Dan, you still going to and so you're still going to go through game-by-game film like you were talking about yesterday? I think it's a great idea. Brandon Day, absolutely. Listen, man, we have a long time before training camp comes by. 110%. In fact, this is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to like revisit Bills Mafia Happy Hour from now on. I think we're just going to go through each and every single game. In fact, I'm pretty sure that might actually lead up. Right until the first day of training camp, if I'm thinking correctly. So 5, 10, 15. Yeah, just about. So I think that's a great idea. In fact, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think Bills Mafia Happy Hour, we're just going to be going through game film, entire game one, give feedback, what we liked, what we didn't like, and then go through there. I think that is a wonderful, absolute idea. Revisiting 2022, the season that broke our damn hearts, figuring out what has to happen, and let's make it work. I'm not sure, but I think Josh Allen, I already read that. Buffalo Snowy, hi all. What's up, man? Good to see you. Bob Stahili coming in saying hit that like button. Absolutely. As always, ladies and gents, best way to support this channel. Always has been. Always has been. I think running back will be very difficult. I like Nyheim Hines and his pass catching and special teams ability, but I could see him being left out. Me too. Especially since now that a kick returner, I really can't see teams valuing them anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, how many teams are realistically going to roll the dice on like a return man taking it out of the end zone or behind the 20? Who is seriously going to roll the dice right there where you have an automatic 25, right? Because I feel like when you look at it, at least 80 to 85% of anybody that takes it back from the end zone or inside the 5 gets to about the 20-25. So is Nyheim Hines even necessary for the Bills this year? I'm not even sure. Nabil is coming in asking, if Vaughn will be ready for week 1? No, I think he said during training camp that he was aiming for week 6. I'm sure he probably said, oh man, I would love to be on week 1. That's on my radar. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. 38. C Rose is coming in saying only 16 likes. Come on, Don Mafia. Absolutely. Listen to C Rose, y'all. Like I said, it takes less than a second. Less than a second. And it's free. It's entirely free. But anyway, let's get to the reason why we're here, ladies and gents. Let's get to the reason why we are here. And we are going through every single 53-man roster. Every single... Yo, look at that. Prize Picks is coming up. Look at that, baby. Hit that link. Hit that link right in my live chat. Sign up for Prize Picks right now, baby. But anyway, this is the Bills Wire 53-man roster projection post minicamp. I have to go ahead and make sure that Prize Picks logo is just staring you guys in the face the entire time, boys. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so everyone has a healthy view. But anyway, this is from Bills Wire. Let's critique this and let's see what they have going on. First off, with the quarterback position, I think this is going to be relatively easy. Roster, 2 spots, Josh Allen and Kyle Allen. I totally get it. I love Matt Barkley. We definitely do. He's getting up there in age. I know that he is a great locker room presence, but the dude is going to be on the practice squad. He really is. I would love for him to get picked up by somebody else so we can actually have a true backup position, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that he's going to be our overall practice squad quarterback just because of the impact that he has on the locker room. Everybody absolutely loves that guy. But and so the Bills will do their tried and tested Barkley method with Kyle Allen signed a 1-year contract to be Josh Allen's main backup, which leaves Barkley to a 3rd string on the practice squad. Interesting. I don't think anybody is shocked by that whatsoever. Nobody is shocked by that at all. Running back. This is where a lot of us are going to get interesting. Like I said, I am doing this entirely blind, ladies and gents. I am doing this entirely blind. I have no idea what's going on, okay? So, this is how it's looking. Roster 5 spots are being taken over. Reggie Gilliam is included, okay? Damian Harris, who is going to be our RB1, by the way. I'm still dying on that hill. James Cook, Nyheim Hines, Latavius Murray, and Reggie Gilliam. And then cuts Jordan Mims. Here's my thought. Somebody made me a believer yesterday. I'm not sure who it is. But I think Nyheim Hines might be traded. I really do. Because number one, it was made apparent last year that Dorsey did not want him involved in our first team offense whatsoever, at least sparingly. I think the writing's on the wall when you draft somebody like Dalton Kincaid, who is essentially a glorified slot receiver from there. You have Khalil Shakir going into his 2nd year. And then you have James Cook, who is also known for his pass-catching capabilities. The only reason Nyheim Hines, or the only contribution he really made last year when he came to this team was special teams, was being our kick returner, okay? We really don't have a lot of benefit of keeping this man on the roster, especially since we ended up signing Deontay Hardy, who also has experience being a kick returner for this team. My thought process is this. We trade Nyheim Hines and we roll with just 4. Damian Harris, James Cook, and Latavius Murray. And then Reggie Gilliam obviously would be on that roster. That is my thought process. On this. I do think that Nyheim Hines is not going to be included. I think he is going to be released. But we will have to see. Lil Piccolo's coming in saying, I like him, but I think Murray will go to the practice squad. I don't, man. I definitely don't. I think that Murray is putting up still 4.6 yards per carry. He's a power back in which that we need, especially during those goal line situations, so we don't need to rely on Josh Allen trying to do it by himself. That's the sort of running back that can get you those tough yards. Like when the box is stacked, that's the sort of running back that can get you those very tough yards. So I think Latavius Murray is almost a lock on this roster. This is way too early. Like, for all I know, this guy lays an egg during training camp. Looks like shit during the preseason. But I can see I think Latavius Murray is almost a lock for this team. I really do. Harris will be good if he stays healthy. And it's funny because a lot of my Patriots friends have been telling me the exact same thing. Like, they're like, dude, we love Damian Harris, but he disappoints us every year because dude's always tweaking a hamstring. He's always hurt with some nonsense. I love Damian Harris too. What's up, Dan? Let's effing go. Smash that like. Vincent coming in, letting everybody know. Hit that like button for me, guys. It's free. It takes less than a second. Jordan Smith. It was probably me that mentioned it. Cook, Shakir can catch out of the backfield. Hardy can return kicks. You can let Hines go by a way of trade. And I also ended up reading that if you end up trading Nyheim Hines, which I'm still thinking that's going to happen, is that it's only a dead cap hit of $1 million. So it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Steve Rose, keep Murray there. Want to eliminate Allen having to make goal line and hard 3-and-1 runs. Murray is awesome at that along with Harris. Absolutely. I think we brought him in for a reason. He's old, but that old man's still putting up 4.6 yards per carry, man. He's a dog. He's a Mack truck, that guy. I really think that he's going to come through. Dick J is going to say Hardy does have fumble issues. That's fine. What I think is going to help out, and even if it is with punts, right? With kickoffs, we're not going to have to worry about it that often because I don't see us seeing a lot of kick returns this year in the entire NFL. I mean, not unless like teams start squib kicking and stuff like that, like just to sort of like roll the dice. I think that McDermott's just going to take the chance. Kevin K is going to say that I agree. I think that Mims is going to be a healthy scratch off the roster. Damian Harris is a beast, runs north-south. That's why he gets hurt. Let's try to implement some of that zone. Okay, so we have the running back set up. Like we said, I agree with Damian Harris, James Cook, Latavius Murray, and Reggie Gilliam, but I see Nyheim Hines being released No. I see him being traded. And so I see him having a lot of value for a team that knows how to use him, right? Wide receiver. Now, I think we all had a lot of debates about this when we thought DeAndre Hopkins was going to be a part of this roster. But I'll tell you what, gents. I think this is going to be pretty easy, right? I really do. And boom, right over here. This is, I think, what everybody on earth was thinking it was going to be. Stephon Diggs at number 1, Gabe Davis at number 2, Deontay Hardy, Shakir, Trent Sherfield, who I'm very excited about, and then Justin Shorter. The reason why I know that Justin Shorter is going to make this team is because he was also known as a significant special teams contributor in Florida, right? So, and so the Bills like that situation. I see Shorter 1,000% making this team for his special teams sort of contributions from the beginning. He's very versatile. He's a big guy. And so he's a home run threat sort of situation. I love Sherfy. Shakir, I'm hoping well for. And then do keep in mind, I know that a lot of us are looking at this. We're like, damn, like really all we have is Stephon Diggs for star talent. But I want you to start looking at Dalton Kincaid as a receiver. I really do. Put that into your mind. Put that into your mind, okay? He is our Travis Kelce this year. He is going to be our Travis Kelce. Head Start is saying, I hope Hopkins still comes. Dan said, Dan, you see that TD is livid over Tyreek Hill. I did see that, as a matter of fact. And so the NFL is requesting the official video. From the police, and apparently Tyreek Hill offered the man $200. What a slap in the face. That man got slapped in the face twice. One time physically and one time metaphorically. And so Low Piccolo likes that wide receiver group a lot. I agree. Say that there's an injury. Who is the next man up? Dude, I will be 1,000% upfront with you, Jordan. I am not familiar with any of these names at all. Maybe Marcel Aitman, just because the guy has had some experience within the league by itself. But then again, will he still be on the practice squad, right? Let's just hope that we don't have any significant injury. And then I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on all of these names right here once the preseason starts, just to see who I think has some potential to come through. But I would probably have to agree with you, Aitman, just because the dude has been in the league for a little while. Wide receiver core looks sad. We need another guy. His name is Dalton Kincaid, baby. Like I said, put in your mind that Dalton Kincaid is a part of this receiver room because that's how he's going to be treated. Put that in your mind. All right, tight end. There's the man. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, and Quinton Morris. I am completely fine with this. Like I said, I really want to see both of these guys implemented. My opinion is that I think Dawson Knox's sort of utilization is going to go down as far as a pass catching threat. I think he's going to be looked at as more so of a blocker. I think that's going to be the majority of his snaps this year. And I think Dalton Kincaid's going to be like our other weapon. I hope that's not the case because I would absolutely love for Dawson Knox to also be a part of this because he's had some highlight reel plays in his career. Not really much of a drop issue outside of his first and second year. He's been a stud. He's been reliable. He's been one of Josh Allen's favorite targets. I'm fine with that. And then also a Quinton Morris, right? And so dude's been well, and we all know that Sean McDermott loves guys that have been with the team for a while and are familiar with that playbook. Love that when it comes into 3. I really do. So with Joel Wilson and then Nick, one of those two will be on the practice squad, and we will go from there. Offensive line. This is where it gets interesting. But right before, let me hit the chat real fast. And so need to give Josh big-time options for what we are paying him. It's like buying a Ferrari and putting regular gas in it. So got to give Hardy and Sherfield a chance. 110%. 110%, man. Listen, Sherfield is a fast dude. He's just as fast as Diggs. He's about 6'1", 6'2". And then Hardy, he's a short king. He's 5'6", but dude can run. He really can. Steve Rose is saying, makes sense. 3 tight ends will be on the roster, especially in light of the anticipated uptick in 12 personnel use. 110%. Purnell, what's up, bud? Steve Rose is saying that Kincaid had a back injury prior. Let's just hope that our training staff is on point with that. And this guy is getting absolutely rubbed down by our team masseuses and chiropractors. Make it happen. Make that man as ready to go as possible. With Quinton Morris, so it could be a practice squad, or at least Reggie Gilliam could play. So the tight end 3. Also, he 110% can, but since Reggie Gilliam has already been listed as one of our running backs, I think that Quinton Morris makes his team. I don't think there's any way that we're just going to put 2 tight ends on the 53-man roster. I think that that's something that's in the back of our head. Is hey, if one of them does get injured, knock on wood, because the Bills are not going to have a single injury this year. Okay? I'm manifesting it right now. Bills will not have a single injury. Manifesting it. And so I see Quinton Morris making this team. And then worst case scenario, if one of them gets hurt, then we have Reggie Gilliam that can fulfill that role. Last but not least, we say Morris showed flashes last season that he can make plays when he has to. So the tight end depth is great. I'm happy with it. Very happy with it. We're going in. Chris, 716. I'm watching from work. Cleaning pools for a beauty. Oh, no. Is he one of them pool boys, bro? Oh, man, that's inappropriate. But, hey, you know what? Y'all know who I am. And so y'all know my kind of content. You're familiar. Okay, this is interesting. He has it at 9. 9 offensive linemen. Some are saying 10. Some are saying 11. I've seen 11 before on some of these roster projections. But this is where we're going. Deion Dawkins. We have Connor McGovern, who is going to be taking over Saffold's role. I feel like anything can be better than what Saffold put up there. Mitch Morse, center, obviously. Osiris Torrance. He is going to be an absolute stud. He's going to be in front of Bates. I really think that he's going to beat out Bates during that competition. And then Spencer Brown. We pray to God that this man can take a step up. David Edwards, Ike Bucker, and Ryan Bates. These guys are basically going to be the depth moves right over here. Ryan Bates obviously can play center. And then David Edwards and Ike Bucker, according to Bills Wire, are saying that this is going to be it. In my opinion, I think we keep 10. I don't think that we're going that slim on offensive line. I really don't. I really don't see us going that slim on offensive line because we've been there before, ladies and gentlemen. We have been there before, haven't we? Our offensive line always gets absolutely disheveled with injuries. I mean, I would be fine with 11, and to be completely honest with you, and we could make a couple of sacrifices elsewhere in, say, for example, rooms that are deep as hell. I think 10 makes a hell of a lot more sense. 9 is way too much of a roll of the dice. If I had to guess, and like I said, we have to see during like training camp, I see Alec Anderson maybe being number 10, Greg Manx, maybe Nick Broker, maybe he better impress. But those are the 3 names that I would probably see battling for the 10th spot. 9 is just way too little. Oh, and no, never even mind. Where is... Got you. What I think is going to go down with this is that Shell, this article must have been, okay, yeah. So Shell will be number 10. I think this article was written on the 20. This must have been a typo because Shell was added to this team way before the 21st of June. But anyway, let's see what they had to say. And then Tommy Doyle as well. So that would be 11 once he comes back. So Doyle's health status is up in the air ahead of 2023. So Shell gets the edge as the swing tackle. Yeah, this was just a typo. They didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So they just forgot Shell. Yeah. So they just forgot Shell for the 9. So then I say Tommy Doyle will be on top of that. Got it. Which is a typo. So Doyle was back in the field doing some drills during minicamp, but it's too soon to tell for sure. A huge position to watch is guard. It will be a 4-man battle for 2 spots between McGovern, Edwards, Bates, and Torrance. But it appears all will at least make the final roster. Same with Garage has been named an undrafted free agent worth watching as well, but it will be an uphill climb along with 7th round rookie Nick Broker. Both could be destined for the practice squad as they are viewed as developmental pieces. All right. O'Doyle rules. O'Doyle rules. Ryan S. coming on in saying Spencer Brown needs to step up this year. He absolutely does, my friend. 3rd year, it's a put up or shut up. And Purnell is coming in saying Dan manifests this year Lombardi Trophy goes to the Buffalo Bills. I love that more than anything in the face of the planet, my friend. I really do. Defensive tackle. What we got? We got 4, ladies and gentlemen. We got 4. Right over here, we have Ed Oliver. We have Daquan Jones. We have Poona Ford. And we have Tim Settle. I love that interior. Ladies and gentlemen. I 1,000% love that. Love that interior right there. That is 1,000% crazy. Yes, Jordan Smith. I don't see... And so I don't see Quessenberry being on this team this year. I don't. But one thing I will say, I am in love with this defensive line interior. I really am. They have Jordan Phillips as an injury, and then the cuts, were these guys. Jordan Phillips. So because of the shoulder injury, Phillips has been sitting out spring practices. Until we see him back on the field, an injury designation is safe bet for him. So he could potentially be a release too. Say, for example, that he can't come back at like a reasonable time. I love Jordan Phillips. I loved what he did for us back in the day. The poor dude just can't stay healthy. But we shall see. Defensive end coming in. Look at that. Here we go. They got Greg Rousseau. They got AJ Epinesa, Shaq Lawson, and Leonard Floyd. Obviously, Von Miller is going to be injured. And the cuts would be Jonathan Klein, Shane Ray, Boogie Basham. I think eventually we have 5 on the roster, right? Von Miller is obviously coming back. I'm not sure I agree with Shaq Lawson. I'm not entirely sure that I agree with Shaq Lawson. Out of everybody that I'm seeing that I think would be a better fit, and this is me just being like one of like the training camp, and so like the training camp sweethearts. I love Shane Ray's story. I would love for this guy to absolutely blow up in training camp and have a crazy preseason. Shaq Lawson is good to the point where he's so familiar with Sean McDermott's defense. That I could see where they're coming from here. but I'm not entirely sure. I could see a 5 defensive end room once Von Miller comes back, because I definitely don't see Greg Rousseau or Epinesa or Leonard Floyd being brought down, but solid defensive ends, man. And we need a big season from Greg, and we need a big season from AJ Epinesa. Boogie Basham, I see being released for sure, or cut, or traded rather. But then once Von Miller comes back, he's good. And so, ever the optimistic guy when it comes to everything, it's hard to imagine Miller starting on opening day. He's dealing with an injury that usually keeps players out an entire year. And that is entirely true, guys. Like, look at Trey White. Like, Trey White didn't come back until an exact year as of last year when he had that sort of ACL injury. He came back on Thanksgiving, right? And the day Trey White came back and played was the day that Von Miller had his ACL torn. So we're going to have to see. Kevin K is thinking that Shane Ray stays. Me too. I'm thinking Shane Ray beats out Shaq Lawson for that 4th spot. I really do. That's what I'm thinking. Ryan S. is saying Shaq played pretty well at the end of last year. He definitely did, man. He knows Sean McDermott's defense like the back of his hand. He really does. He really, really does. That dude's played for like every single team on the AFC East, right? The Jets, the Dolphins. Like, he knows those offensive linemen for the most part and their schemes. So I could like also see an argument as into, hey, why should we keep Shaq Lawson over somebody else? So I could definitely see that. Same with Jordan Smith is saying that I could see Boogie or Shaq Lawson as possible trade candidates. Me too. Chris716 is saying, Dan, what time do you start your streams? I start them at 11 a.m. EST, Monday through Friday. And then Bill's Mafia Happy Hour starts at 5 p.m. EST on Monday through Thursday as well. And so I'm going to be doing a stream on Friday afternoon. This isn't going to be something that is regular. It's just a cool little Q&A. Keith Stewart knows it. 11-5. Love that. And for everyone that is new, definitely go ahead and smash that like button. Super easy. It takes less than a second, and it's completely free. Helps me out with that YouTube algorithm and introduces my content to a bunch of new people. All right, linebacker. This is what everyone wants to know. Linebacker situation. What are we doing with this? What are we doing with this linebacker situation? Roster. All right. This is stacked. 6 is a lot. Wouldn't you agree? Maybe not. Maybe not. Because Tyler and Balin Spector, those two are very good special team contributors. But we have Matt Milano, obviously. We have Bernard. We have Terrell Dotson. We have Dorian Williams, our rookie, who was just ended up drafting. And then we have Tyler Matakovich and then Balin Spector from there, who are very key special teams contributors. I want to say 6 is a lot, but we shall see. Then you have AJ Klein being cut and then Traven Howard. While Klein could be a valuable veteran backup, the Bills did not covet him a ton over the past year or so. In a scenario where he's cut, he could certainly be picked up for the practice squad as a vet depth option. By the time training camp ends, so the replacement of Tremaine Edmonds will be found, whether that be Williams, Dotson, or Bernard. My gamble is 1,000% going to be my gamble is that it's going to be Dotson. Say that I was a betting man, I would probably put that Dotson is going to be the starting middle linebacker by the time week 1 comes around. I really, really see that. Pantherology is coming in saying, Dan, the man with the plan. My boy, man. I am looking forward to the crazy long weekend that we are going to have this season. Seriously. My guy Nabil is coming in saying that he's a Bernard guy for middle linebacker. I'm a Dotson guy. I think Dotson's going to be it. And then I think Dorian Williams that Kay just ended up putting in, I think that he's going to be a solid rotational piece. But we all know that McDermott hates rookies, right? Like, we all know that McDermott despises rookies. So I don't not unless Dorian Williams goes out there and plays like a 4-year vet. Just based off of Sean McDermott's behavior in the past, I think he's probably going to give it to somebody that has a bit more experience with the playbook. Ryan's thinking 5 linebackers. See, when I first saw 6, I was a bit taken aback. But then I ended up seeing Tyler Matakevich and Balen Spector, and we all know those contributors to the special teams. It's just how these things play out. Can we put 4 players in the practice squad that no other team can touch? Kim, yes. But I think there's a certain year of their contract. I think that they need to be 2 to 3 years within the NFL or rookies or something along those lines. I'm going to have to look it up and I'll let you know, unless anybody in the live chat knows exactly what it is. But there's certain criteria that needs to be made in which that they can't be touched. Klein to the practice squad. Williams starts. Williams, got that. And then we had 6 last year. So AJ Klein or Howard probably should make this team for that veteran presence. I can feel that. Regardless, so both of these backups will have special teams roles for them, especially Matakevich, Spector, a former round 7 draft pick. We'll get a practice squad look. If he ends up being cut in the end, he will be around one way or another. Cornerback, ladies and gents. Cornerback. Oh, this is where we got it. This is where we got it right here, boys. This seems to be pretty much on point. I'm fine with these DBs, by the way. We have Trey White. I am praying to God that this man just comes back to 80% of what he was prior to his ACL injury. I would love that. Kyer Elam, okay? I really want him to take that next step. I really want to see him take that next step in learning zone coverage because that's what McDermott has fallen in love with, right? If not, it's going to be Benford. It's going to be Benford on the opposite side. Taron Johnson, right over here. Taron Johnson, one of the best slot corners in the league. I don't care what you damn say. Dane Jackson, who Sean McDermott absolutely loves. Benford, who's probably going to be CB2. Ciaran Neal, who is very familiar with this defense. And then Cam Lewis as well, who Sean McDermott is absolutely in love with. I'm fine with this. I am absolutely fine. I am absolutely fine with this DB group right over there. With Ingram and then McMichael and Alex Austin all being cut. So glad we have Milano. You and me both. One of the absolute best pass coverage linebackers in the damn league. Lo Piccolo is coming in. If Trey struggles again, you think we should trade him? No. I think that it would be very bad for us to trade the guy, not unless the team's willing to take on his contract, because we extended that man a lot of money. We'll see. We have the Trek reviewer coming in and thinking that Lewis will be traded. And so I like Dantzler over Lewis. Here's the thing, too. He's not even on this list. And this article was written after he was made in. So versatility comes in huge here. 7 is a big number, but Lewis and Benford are players that can be moved around the defense to safety. That's why Lewis makes the team, right? That also helps them edge out Austin until he proves something in training camp. Austin should put pressure on Lewis specifically, but the Bills continually show that they like Lewis. Why isn't Dantzler on this article? I think the author just completely forgot. One of the headlines to watch during training camp will also be how the depth chart shapes, specifically between Benford, Elam, and Jackson at the number 2 starting spot across White. My bet's going to be Benford, not unless Elam learns completely overall zone coverage and becomes an absolute stud. Yeah, same thing, Jordan. I have no idea because Cam Dantzler was signed by the Buffalo Bills. And so I think this article just completely forgot about it. Yeah, dude. 3 weeks ago. And so this article was written 3 weeks. And so this article was written last week and they just completely forgot about the guy. say that I probably had to replace him with anybody. He's a great zone guy. I could see him replacing Sear and Neal. And so I could see him replacing Sear and Neal for Cam Dantzler on the outside too. So that could be something to look for. Safety. Here we go. This is pretty much known. We have Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Taylor Rapp, and Damar Hamlin. Now, we really don't know. I know that Damar has been practicing with the team. But will he be able to play like full contact, ready to go week 1, like in a game scenario? We're going to have to see. They must have been looking at an old depth chart. They keep missing people. Yeah. That is absolutely wild. And then specialists, we already know who that is. Tyler Bass, Sam Martin, and the guy, Reed Ferguson. Ladies and gents, not a terrible 53-man roster. I think, what did I say? I thought that Dantzler was going to be there over Sear and Neal. Shea and Ray would be over Shaq Lawson. I think we're not going to keep 5 running backs. We're going to keep 4, technically 3, and 4 being Reggie Gilliam listed as a fullback. Was there anything else that just made me? They forgot Brandon Shell. I think that they're going to take 10 offensive linemen and not 9. We'll get rid of a running back to account for that. Linebackers at 6 makes sense because I know all of what they want to accomplish, like on special teams. So 6 linebackers make sense. Corners. I mean, really overall, it was solid. Some very interesting takes. But like I said, guys, listen, we have a lot of these 53-man roster projections to go through. That was Bill's Wire. I think tomorrow during the morning show, we're probably just going to go through something from somebody else. I know that Matt Perino did one yesterday, so we can look through that one tomorrow morning, which should be pretty interesting. And then, yeah, I think that's going to have to work out the way that we go. And then we have the Trek reviewer coming in and saying that Marlowe will be on the practice squad. Can 1,000% see that. Jordan Smith, love the safeties. Could subtract 1 from somewhere and add Dean Marlowe. We have Hines will be the shocker if trades. The rest is more or less set. Low Piccolo, expect a big prove-it year from Gabe now that people are going to doubt him. I believe he worked out his catching issues like Knox did. That's great. I really hope that's the case because I can just remember that one throw from Josh Allen during that Cincinnati game where it went right like under the breadbasket where it could have created that momentum. It was so frustrating. But Bills Mafia, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Don Mafia Live, baby. It's always a good time over here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Like this video for me as well. One of the best things you could possibly do to support your boy at the end of the day. Sign up for Prize Picks, too. Start betting on baseball responsibly, of course, and then also NFL futures. And then I will see you during Bills Mafia Happy Hour at 5 p.m. We are going to be looking through the film of every single week, reliving 2022, picking out things that we enjoyed, things that we liked, things that we didn't like, and we're just going to have an overall discussion of the entire season from game film. All right? Thank you all so much for tuning in. I love each and every single one of you, and I will see you at 5 p.m. EST. Deuces. Jaden, my bad, man. I'll see you at 5 p.m., bro. I'll see you at 5 p.m. Deuces.